Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to do A/B testing of two versions of a website using Nginx. I use Mac, so I use Brew to install Nginx. The config file for Nginx is nginx.conf, and the default port for Nginx is 8080. So if I go to localhost 8080, it shows the default Nginx web page. What we're gonna do is locally I have two different versions of my website. So this is the older version. So to differentiate, I gave a different title. I added old in there, and this image is different, and the older version of the site runs on localhost 8084, and the newer version of the site, you can see different image, and the title is just tutors on board, and it runs on port 8085. Since I use Mac, I install Nginx using the Brew, and the configuration is in nginx.conf. So we're going to make changes to the configuration file to enable the A/B testing, and I'll be using a brew restart command after making changes to the config file, and we will be using Nginx upstream module, Nginx split clients module, and Nginx map module, and proxy pass module. Without further ado, let me start making changes to the configuration file. So let me open up my Visual Studio Code. Let me open up the right one. So in here, I got the Nginx configuration file. So this is a default file, except I removed all the comments to make it readable. And in here, we're going to make the changes. So as I mentioned before, we're going to use the upstream module. So we're going to create two upstreams. So I'm going to call the first one new version, and that's going to be server localhost 8085, and let me make a copy of that, and I'm gonna make another upstream, so that I'm gonna call old version. So that's going to be 8084, and we're going to use the split modules, split clients module. So let me split clients module and give a variable name. Let me call that as split upstream, and in here we're gonna split the traffic. So I'm gonna provide equal percentage. So 50% is gonna go to new version, and I'm gonna give the same percentage to the old version. And then we're gonna use the cookie. So whenever a user goes to my site, they may get either one of the versions on the first time. So we set a cookie on the site with the value either old or new version. So the next time the same user from the same machine comes back to the website, we check the cookie value, and depending upon the cookie value, we make sure they are getting the same version as before. So in here, we're gonna access the cookie value by using the map Nginx module, and I'm gonna access the cookie. So we're going to use a cookie. We're going to set up a cookie with the name split version. So in here we are getting the cookie value and we are setting it into a variable, and the default is going to be the split upstream. So let me copy this variable name. The default is going to be the split upstream, and if the cookie value is going to be new version, then we're going to send them over to the new version. And let me copy and paste this, and if the cookie value is going to be old version, we're going to send it back over to the old version of the site. With that in place, what we got to do is we need to set up the cookie. Let me remove these. So I'm going to add cookie, add header, and set cookie and we're gonna give the cookie the name split version. So cookie name is going to be split version, and the cookie value is going to be the upstream choice. So it's going to be either old version or new version. Then we're going to check the cookie value and send them over to the right version of the site. So in here I'm checking whether it is new version. If it is new version, we're gonna send them over to the new version of the website. So I'm gonna use proxy pass and I'm gonna send them over to the new version. And let me copy and paste. Let me add a break in here and then copy and paste. And make the change to old version. So if it is the cookie value is old version, then send them over to the old version. And the default case, so that is going to go to the split upstream. So with that in place, when I restart Nginx, everything should be working. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart my Nginx. So while that is finishing it up, now let me go to my Nginx. If everything is correct, it should be working. It did not work, so I could have made some mistake on the configuration. So what I'm going to do is I have a working copy in here, so I'm going to copy and paste it over there. Let me go ahead and restart the Nginx again, and it's done. So now let me come back and restart the Nginx. Now you can see I get the new version of the website. So you can see the title says tutors on board and it is a newer version. And when I look at the network tab, refresh network tab, look at the cookies, I should be getting the cookie split version that should say a new version. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a curl request to the Nginx localhost 8080, and this time I'm passing the cookie value split version to be old version. So let me make that request, and you can see on the title it says tutors onboard old. So that is when I change the cookie, I'm getting the older version. So let me make sure if you pass the new version, we'll be getting the newer version of the website. So look at the title that shows tutors on board. So that is a newer version of this site. I'll be posting the GitHub link with the configuration. Thank you. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.